And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. We are getting out of bad debt. Bad debt is anything that has more than 5% in interest rates, that doesn't give you money in your pocket, but that is taking money out of your pocket. All right, so that's bad debt, and we're gonna get rid of it today. We've spoken the last 3 days now about paying yourself first, which basically means paying your future self. All right, so saving up lots and lots of money, not to save it, but to invest it. All right, to get returns on it in order for it to grow into a nest egg so that you can retire perhaps earlier, or just more comfortable than a state pension, or to just simply prepare you for business. Okay, we have to pay ourselves first. All right, so when we've got that mindset, now we can start looking at our debts, looking at, okay, let's just get rid of it. All right, so now you're in this situation. You either have a house that you want to keep, okay? If you're in this category, your job is to make sure you keep that house, right? No matter what. Or you're in the boat of you need to have a car, so you need to pay down on the car. Or you don't have a house, you don't have a car, but you have credit cards that you want to pay down. All right? Or you owe nothing to anyone and you have no commitments other than having to pay for cheap rent, your food, and transportation, and some clothes. All right? Now, the best situation to be in, of course, it's nice to have a house because that's good debt, right? Hopefully. But then at the same time, all of the rest of that money, it's yours. Okay? So when you go to work and you get paid, the money that you get into your bank account, it does not belong to anyone else but you. You have complete control and ownership over what comes into your account. No one else decides what you're going to do with it. Someone might call you and say, hey, you owe us this money. But you know what? You still have that money, so you still own it. All right? You decide who you pay first. It's not like anyone can come in there and say, hey, you owe me money, give me the money. No, you decide. And you be your master. You be the master of that money. Okay, so now you got that mindset. You're going to pay yourself first. And once you've done that, you now look at the creditors. All right, so let's set it up. What I want you to do is get complete overview over all the people that you owe money, all your creditors, and how much you owe every single one, down to a specific dollar amount. All right? And I want you to write down a square on the paper for every single creditor. Okay, let's just make it big and just so you can see it. All right, even put it on the wall if you need to. Okay, so you're gonna put tape on each paper, and on each of those papers you're gonna have a quadrant. All right, so 4 squares in one big square, kind of like this. And then you're going to, on the top left corner, you're going to write down the name of the creditor. On the top right corner, you're going to write down the exact amount that you owe this person or this bank or this creditor. Then on the bottom left corner, you're going to write down the monthly sum that you're going to pay them back. Now, that means that you need to contact every single one of these creditors and negotiate a monthly payment that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you can commit to. You can manage to do that minimum every single month. And when you negotiate, don't let them be in control. You decide how much, you propose, because guess what? They can't take away your money. You have full control over it. No one can take away your money except for the government. Okay, but anyone else, they're at your mercy. They're at your feet begging for their money that you took from them. Yes, you borrowed from them. Or you can say that they invested in you because they believed that you would pay them back. But now, as you are getting control over your life and over your finances, they're at the mercy of you paying them back. Alright, so you choose how much you pay them back. And then you're going to have that minimum base there. You manage to agree on something. And then on the bottom right corner, you're going to write down the amount of months it's going to take to pay that off. You do that with every single one of these creditors, and you'll have, I don't know, it depends how much you owe people or how many people you owe, but we want to make it so that you have complete overview over every single creditor, and then once you have it on the wall, you can put it on the computer so that you can have exact overview over what's happening. This could take maybe a whole day, okay? And then you have to do a little bit of work, maybe once a week or once per day, depending upon the debts, to just keep overview over the situation. See it improve, see it become better and better and better. Alright, let's remember the principle of pay yourself first, because that's a very important part of it. But as you now have overview, your last task is to, in addition to your work income, you come up with an extra 1,000 kroners a month, or an extra $100 a month. Okay? It is so simple in this day and age to come up with an extra 1,000 kroners per month. And what you're going to do is you're going to pay first the creditor that has the lowest months. Okay? The one that you can pay down the quickest. Because you want a quick win under your belt, okay? You want to make sure that you win fast. So you don't pay the one that has the highest interest rate. You pay the one that you get to pay off first and the quickest with the sum that you have. So you put the minimum monthly payment. You add the 1,000 kroners to it, right? So that you can pay it down even faster than you thought. And then once you've managed to pay that off, let's say it takes 2 or 3 or 4 months. Great. Now you've done it. You take the same monthly payment plus the 1,000 kroners or more if you've managed to find ways of creating more and more income. You paid that off, and now you go to the next one. Okay, to number 2. And now you're paying double. You're paying the monthly payment for number 1 plus the monthly payment for number 2. Plus the 1,000 kroners extra, or whatever amount you manage to get outside of your normal income, on top of it, to pay number 2 down fast. And then, when you've paid down number 2, you go to number 3, and you pay the monthly payment of number 3, plus the monthly payment of number 2, plus the monthly payment of number 1, plus the 1,000 kroners, on top of it to pay down number 3. And then you pay that off quickly and you go to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. You have no idea how fast this can go if you just get this process started. The most important aspect of getting out of bad debt is getting outside help. Getting a coach, a third-party observer who can non-emotionally observe and put a mirror in front of your face and say, this is what's happening with your finances. Let's get overview and let's make this happen. Using this strategy, okay? Keep it simple, because that's what you need to do, because you've put yourself in this mess, right? Once you have that coach, things like you will be committed and you will be ready to take more and more steps in the right direction. All right, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. Why is this so important? Well, think about it. Very often, over time, as we get married or as we start having kids, then debt starts increasing because our salaries go a little bit up, but our expenses go massively up every single year. That's why people get into credit card debt. That's why they have issues financially. All right? Now just imagine, let's say you're a normal guy who has no weight issues at all. But every single year, somehow, you manage to add 20 kilos to your frame. How long does it have to go? Maybe it's not even 20, maybe it's 10 kilos. But still, let's say 20, just for the fact of it. How long are you going to go before you're gonna get outside help? Because you need outside help to change some habits, okay? It's gonna take you 5 years and you'll be at 100 kgs more than what you are today if you did that. Let's transfer that back to finances. Bring outside help now, okay? But bring outside help that you don't have to pay for, or that you just pay very, very minimal amounts to in order to get the process started. Really, the only thing that you need is someone who is better off than you, that's it, who can be one step ahead of you and help you to be committed to the process. That's all it takes. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again tomorrow.